What is going on, PlayStation Follower? It is your boy TKD123, aka Kevin Diaz, and we just got wrapped up watching the entire Players Games Week 2017, and we're gonna have a ton of content up on the channel today, going over some stuff that was announced. But going off here, I'm going to go and start off with some of the pre-show stuff that they unveiled. So starting off here at the pre-show, they showed a ton of games, but just wrap up the top of the list. They have Guacamelee 2 coming to PS4, but when you were looking at the actual splash screen of the game, there isn't the Vita logo, which is extremely unsettling, extremely sad. You know what I'm saying? We all know that the Vita is dying a slow death, and honestly this was coming to it, like just in my opinion, because we didn't even get Gravity Rush 2 on the Vita, so it's just not really surprised here to not get Guacamelee 2 as well. Next, they showed a game here called Hong Kong Massacre, and this one looks super good to me. Now, this one looks in the same type of way and type of style dynamic that we got with the last night. Not exactly the same graphics and everything, but just kind of like that same, that really gritty, real type of stylistic viewpoint of the world. It looks like we're getting the same thing here with the Hong Kong Massacre. And think essentially Hotline Miami, but with like real graphics. That's exactly what this game is aiming for. And it's coming out in 2018 for the PS4, so definitely hyped for that one as well. Next one, we have a game here called The Gardens Between, which is going to be a 2-player, I'm assuming, or maybe just 1 player, but you're playing 2 different people. Puzzle game with time mechanics, and that's coming out in late 2018. And next up here, they updated the Loco Roco Remaster, and they updated it to now support 4K, and they also announced Loco Roco 2, which is coming out in a very, very, nice time frame of December 9th, 2017. So not that far, you'll be able to get your hands on Loco Roco 2. Then they also went on to announce the Sims 4, which is coming out again for PS4 on November 17th, and they essentially just described it as the game that we have right now on the Sims 4 on the PC, and bringing it to a console platform with better controls and better menu systems to really make it more of a console game in that sense. So definitely like that on November 17th. They went on to announce Tennis World Tour, which is coming to PS4 in spring 2018. Then they went into some PSVR games here, and like a lot of these are going to be VR games and things like that. So just starting off here, they announced a game here called Megalith, which is essentially a hero type of combat game. Think like Overwatch, think Lawbreakers, and you play as a titan and you're trying to battle it out to become a god. And this is going to be on 2018. This one is probably one of the most enticing PSVR games that we saw this whole entire show, but definitely did like that one as well. Next up, they went on here to describe Ballots of Blood, which came out in 2018, and just think essentially Treasure Planet in PSVR. That's really what I got here. That's really the vibe I got here. It is a procedure generated game, and you will play as contestants in some sort of like game thing, and you're flying and like spacecrafts over. It just looks a lot like Treasure Planet to me. Ultra Wings we had up next. It is basically a game where you fly a ship or something like that, and that is coming to PSVR, and they only said coming soon, so who knows when that will come, but they say coming soon for that release date. Now, the game from VR that really caught my attention the most is a game here called Sprint Vector. It is a momentum-based stylistic shooter, and it's coming out in 2018. And they show off a little bit more of mods. They showed this off at E3 2017, but now they over here have, just show like a little more gameplay from mods and everything, and it definitely looks great. It's coming along great and everything, and they announced a window for release date, which is February 2018. Next up here, they showed a game here called Star Trial, which is, they say, is a, movie-esque platform adventure game. They say it's coming soon. This one was kind of weird because they showed no gameplay, and it's like, how are you going to call this a platform? I don't know, like, you can call it that, but at least show a little bit of gameplay, whatever. But that one's coming out soon. Then they had some new Resident Evil content coming for the new year and everything. They had Not a Hero and End of Zone, both DLC packs coming out in a timely fashion. I believe December or January, something like that. I didn't exactly get the date. I want to say December. I feel like December, but you get those DLC packs for Resident Evil for free. And back onto some PSVR games as well. They have 2 games coming out tomorrow. Yes, October 31st on Halloween. We have Dead Hungry, which is a game where you are feeding zombies. You're trying to make these burgers and make this fast food to feed the zombies as fast as possible. And then we also have another game here. It's called Stifled. A very, very cool game. It's very creepy, very scary and everything. And what you have to do is you have to make noise to be able to see the environment around you. So it's kind of like echolocation in that way, but the more noise you make, the more enemies that you will attract. So definitely a cool game there. Then they announced here League of War, which is essentially like a strategy war military game where you can pick up a tank and drop it in the arena, and that is coming out November 7th, 2017. They also went into more depth here talking about Monster of the Deep. This is the Final Fantasy 15 PSVR fishing game that we got, a look at E3 2017, and we got a little more details here. No release date of any sort, but we did get a little bit more details and stuff like that. So definitely look into that if you're interested. And then they announced the Final Fantasy 15 episode Ignis, episode where I guess you were going into the character of Ignis and everything, stuff like that. There's a grappling hook mechanic that got a lot of people's attention, and this coming out December 13, 2017. Now, lastly here, just wrapping up the PSVR stuff here, what was really cool here was this game here called Invector. Now, this is basically one of those, music games. Think of Rock Band, think that more rhythmic game. That's what they announced here with this game, and it looks super dope, man. It looks awesome. I'm a big fan of this one. It was very, very hyped for this one. Definitely good things there. Now, towards the end of the show, they did give us a banger here where it is a, out now game, and it is called Ore. And this game looks a lot like Journey in like a lot of ways in its way of style and its way of direction and everything. And essentially what you play as is a girl that becomes a dragon and has to solve puzzles and has to, just make these people do things. Well, not people, but like make these, like watchers or whatever they call them, do their job again. So that looked really cool right there. And then lastly here, to wrap the pre-show, they announced Spelunky 2. Now in this one here, I presume the main character from Spelunky has died and you play as his son and you go on to live the legacy that your father left behind. And that one's coming to PS4 with no date that was included. And that pretty much wrapped up the pre-show of the Paris Games Week, and we got some more stuff coming here on the channel revolving around the main show. So most definitely keep it locked here in the channel for that coverage of everything. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep on following.